Good morning, traders, and welcome to Price Action GPS. I'm the Market Surfer here with your morning report for July 19th, 2023. Real quick, all the bank earnings yesterday, don't have to go over the charts. Didn't seem to be that bad. It's up and down, but once again, we have to see as the market interpreters start working their magic on how we should interpret the earnings, then the fallout will happen. But the financial sector doesn't look too good. Either does transportation sector going forward, like logistics. But we'll look that up in the charts. And today's earnings are Netflix and Tesla. So I don't think Tesla will be bad. Netflix is going to be interesting because the last two earnings has always been up and down. But let's see how that pans out for the day. We'll go over it. Before we even go into the charts, I would like to... the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So I watched the video. Of course, Coinbase. I will give it to Coinbase. That guy, if I really do want information, I do go to him. And even though I look up the articles, find it myself. But the guy's good. And he came up with... I'll obviously show you the video. Or we'll put it in the... show notes. It'll be in the notes. But basically, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has been working on a fast payment system for years. And it's very hard to even find any information on it. But here it is. In Kenya, increasing number of low-income people access to financial tools and services from their cell phones. This goes, depending on how long you've been listening to me, this goes back to the Peter Thiel video from 1999. That's exactly what he said. You know, the way to the unbanked is through a mobile device. In 1999, no one even realized that everyone would be banking on their phone in 20 years. So, just the past 6 years, 1.2 billion people worldwide have gained access to bank and mobile money accounts. Mobile money accounts. That'll be a new term. The revolution in financial inclusion has the potential to offer a pathway out of poverty for hundreds of millions of people and to spur broad economic growth. So basically, if you're familiar with the Lightning Network, I would imagine this is their Lightning Network. This video is absolutely great. And here's the Sierra Leone taps fast payment system to promote fast progress with financial inclusion. Excuse me, this is the World Bank, the World Bank, the IMF, and the International Bank of Settlements. I believe that's what it is. They're all coming up with these payment systems. So Sierra Leone is implementing its national payment switch. See? No different than the FedNow. I'm sure the FedNow coin and all of this will somehow work together. That'll how I believe the tokenization of financial assets in general. This has been going on for a while. And the idea that in order to get your money out of this country, you will have to go to the FedNow, and only the FedNow will trade with other currencies. So, I mean, that's just my opinion. It just seems that's the way it's going. So the new financial infrastructure will promote modernization of the country's national payment system. It will facilitate interoperability of card transactions among channels and payment services providers, stimulating innovation and competition in the financial sector, and fostering progress towards financial inclusion in the country. In May 2023, Sierra Leone's President Bio launched the National Payment Switch, the new infrastructure, which is a $12 million funded program from the World Bank, interconnects 6 commercial banks and enables payments interoperability among banks, microfinance institutions, another new word, mobile money operators, and financial technology firms. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it will be in the show notes. Money as we know it is obviously changing, and the dollar and fast payment systems. So is the Fed now going to be the dollar? And in that video, he does a good job of explaining how The fast now payment systems, or the fast payment systems in itself, is basically a CBDC. So they don't have the CBDC, but they have the control and the basically the CBDC in this. They just don't call it a CBDC because this is a system, where a CBDC is a token or an asset. So I believe that token will be used with this system, but just not yet. So with that being said, everyone, I'm going to the charts. Sorry for but that's very important to what's going on in the world. I'm more concerned about how these things roll out than I am about bank earnings or anyone's earnings, because everyone's gearing for a future and they're not worried about the gains for the next year or two. Everyone's trying to hunker down and get all their ducks in a row to weather this storm that's coming, the financial storm. Well, they're retooling the financial systems, so it is what it is. And here we go with Bitcoin. I will draw a trend line from the top of this to the top of that. And that is our upper limit, guys. Even if we go sideways to here and go up, touch that, I can see that, and then an absolute sell-off. And here's the dollar. It found support right here, as it should. See, you see how these things work? And it even went down to that one. See what I'm saying? Same thing as Bitcoin. We can go sideways here for a while, and then maybe as October comes, we just drop right down to this, and then from here, we go up. Or vice versa. We go down to October. I just think this is when something's going to happen. Believe me, I'm in an industry where everything is forward thinking, and all I keep hearing is we just have to get through to October. We have to maintain to October. We have to run a tight ship, keep manufacturing, and get to October. There'll be changes in October. So, this is... I don't know if we go sideways for that long. We could, and I'm not saying I'm a psychic. I just I read the tea leaves as we go. So right now we're stuck here. This can go sideways and then drop. This can go down and then get to this level and then take off. We can rebound from here back up to here and then come down for October. Right now we're at support, and this is the 4-hour chart. So. It's still not saying the momentum has changed to the upside, but we found support. Pound dollar, it is at its... Well, first and foremost, I like to say the volume went down while the price went up. So I think that right there is our imminent point of failure. It may take a week or two, but I don't know if we're going to get much higher. Bank's starting to go up. This is still holding. 2 year, look at 2 year. Went right to there, and that was it. And here we are at support again. So, but the momentum's to the downside now. This looks like it's going to roll over and go right down. It may hang on for a month or two. And here's another one, T-bond futures. The contract rollover is August 30th. Maybe that's when things start getting hairy. SDS, inverse of the S&P. Dividends are paid out. We're at new lows. I mean, even after we had the reverse split, so I would say we should get a bounce soon. But the momentum indicators haven't suggested that the bounce is here, but we are at levels where we should start turning around. At least a little bit. I'm not saying a directional change. Apollo Group, man, they're still going strong. Look at that. They just took out the high, so earnings are coming up. I don't know if their earnings will be bad. I would more worry about their forecast. Here's Palantir. Still holding, but that's an imminent failure. This is at L885. We have divergence. We have lower momentum with a higher price. 200 period moving average is the first stop that I would look at to purchase anything here. All right, guys, we're running short on time. Russell still holding there too. But I'm going to go into Prologis. or Proglogics. They had their earnings yesterday. They ship shit all over. So you look at their earnings, didn't come out too good, and it dropped. They got to their peak price right there. But then earnings were right here. The reported was 165. They expected 1.72 billion. So 4% miss. I don't know if it's going to send it dropping, completely, but it did a little correction there. And that's important because same thing. This one's over 1 million volume. It just looks like these are on their way down. Spotify is topping out. Still hasn't changed momentum though. Generac, same thing. Warner Brothers Discovery. Now everyone's talking about the Apple Disney, quote, rumors of merger. They've been talking about that since like October or November. And Sir Alex Gates, you and I were speaking, but I would say you were correct. It's probably more likely a merger. Because I don't think they would sell Disney, but I do think they would merge their streaming service, Disney Plus. I do believe they would sell that off, or even Max, like HBO Max. I think things like that could be sold off to, or merged with, an Apple, because Apple has the products in which to watch these on, the devices in which you will watch the movies or the content. So Disney has content, Apple has the streaming service and everything you need to watch the content. I think that's the most likely scenario, if anything at all happens. We're in a turbulent time. I don't know how many more mergers and acquisitions. Well, I guess in the digital realm, media, digital, and energy, that'll probably continue to happen. But with that being said, everyone, this is a value for value endeavor. If you find any value in this, please return it by way of Boostagram. Let us know how we're doing. Give us comments on any other video platform you're watching this on. But most importantly, interact with us. Give us some feedback. We had 2 comments on YouTube. Guy said, I agree with the dollars. Thank you. And Lover of Knowledge, you're always commenting on No Agenda Tube. I'll continue to pump this information out. Thank you. I enjoy this stuff. I do it every day, regardless if I put videos up here or not. So, once again, boost away, interact with us. And if you're watching this on you should watch it on a new podcast app. So go to podcastapps.com and download Podverse and CurioCast are great with video. So they're the 2 I would recommend. If there's something else that someone uses that works great with video, let me know. And I will pass it along. So once again, thank everybody. Stay safe and effective. See you Monday.